pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scott Latham.
Here.
Thomas Kennedy.
Here.
Thomas Grattan.
Here.
Joan Hagerman.
Here.
Christian Pryor.
Here.
In the event of an emergency, everyone is advised to exit this room from the one side door which leads directly into the parking lot. In the event of an emergency, everyone is asked to move away from the building and do not attempt to leave in your automobiles, since this may cause traffic problems and block incoming emergency vehicles.
Okay, thank you. First hearing of visitors. Anybody wants to speak, but it's got to be about an agenda item. Okay. Then we have our consent agenda, which is our approval of minutes, financial matters, and committee on CSE. Financial matters are fairly mundane, some surplus
Donation.
things, contracts. There is a donation from the H.W. Wilson Foundation, is awarded a grant to the amount of $12,000 to support the junior senior high school library to incorporate flexible and collaborative workspaces that will benefit the entire school community. We need a motion to accept that $12,000. Can I get a motion?
Is that for everything on the consent agenda?
Well, I just figured we'd just do that to accept it?
You could do,
Consent agenda first, then that's.
yeah, I could do the consent agenda.
Oh.
It's in the consent agenda, and actually.
Okay, how about the consent agenda? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Then we'll go to the donation. Can I get a motion to accept the $12,000 in support of the junior senior high school library?
So.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Could we send them
Yes.
a thank you? And who is the H.W. Wilson Foundation? Or what is it?
They're an organization that does grants for libraries and media centers, and somehow Christine Cassidy, our librarian, connected with them.
Oh, okay.
And they told her that they had grant money available, so she applied for it.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Let's send a thank you to her, too. Old business. Is there any old business? Superintendent's report, Dr. Morrow.
So now that all that snow is gone, spring sports have begun. Our kids are out there practicing. Are you playing anything this spring?
Yeah, I play lacrosse.
Okay. How's it been out? Chilly at night, right?
Good, very cold and windy.
Yep, but, luckily we have turf, which helps a lot with a number of our sports. Baseball's been inside and outside, depending on the weather. But, games are going to start soon. I think scrimmages start this week. You have a scrimmage this week?
Yeah, I had a non-league game yesterday, and then our first league game is tomorrow.
Great. So get down and see our kids play. They work very hard. They do a great job. Our budget is moving along on no details. It's not a budget presentation tonight, but, we've been working hard. The houses have made comment about it, so we're really hoping that probably next week we will have a finalized budget from New York State. And, we've been chipping away, looking at our expenditures from this year and everything for next year. And, we believe that our budget will be within those numbers that we originally reported to have, and will include everything that we want, that has currently in it, plus a few enhancements like the elementary playground. Thank you.
Thank you. We have,
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, one more thing.
One more thing.
We had our Scope Awards dinner the other night, and Scott Latham, who was honored as a longstanding board member, it was his wife's birthday, so he was taking care of spoiling her rather than coming to the Scope dinner. So I wanted to give you your award. They gave it to me. Congratulations.
thank you.
Yep, it's frequently a thankless job, and it's nice to get recognized for it every once in a while.
You live long enough, we'll give you anything. Personnel, employees leaving the district, full-time permanent retirements. Major Gorgonis, effective June 30th, 2027, and Penny Vaccarello, effective August 29th, 2026. Employees entering the district full-time permanent. Stephanie Pincar Coleman as a school social worker. Employees entering the district service, part-time temporary, varsity baseball coach, Dave Riddell, volunteers, Ed Kane for varsity softball, William Barzewski, Bazarewski, JV softball, robotics mentors, Ed and Kim Chilton, Judy Fouché, Amy Gammon, Tom Shade, Amy Schill, Jamie Mills, Kevin Ray, Tony Krill, Bob Gammon, and Christine Shade, which is probably collectively the entire time that we've had robotics is with those mentors.
And this past weekend, they qualified to go to Worlds by winning the regional tournament on Long Island. The final competitions, they won the first 2 out of 3. They almost doubled the score of the other team. So, you know, they're already starting their fundraising and making preparations to go to Houston and compete. About 2 or 3 years ago, they came in second at the World Championships, which is the highest any Eastern United States team has ever come in. A lot of Silicon Valley teams and some teams from foreign countries tend to, dominate at that event. Our alliance came in second. They lost 2-1 in the finals, and that was the highest any of the Eastern teams came in. So we're looking forward to them going again.
And it wouldn't happen without those folks. I mean, it really wouldn't. A substitute nurse, Jackie Field, a substitute aide TA, Jacqueline Field, Angela Jacoby, Kathleen Travers, substitute teacher, Kathleen Travers, and a translator for kindergarten registration, Miriam Huertas. Can I get a motion on those personnel? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have a settlement agreement and general release. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Southold Union Free School District, having received and reviewed a settlement agreement and general release concerning an employee known to the board, hereby authorizes such settlement agreement and general release and authorizes and directs the board president to execute such settlement on behalf of the board. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Here's a good one. A National Academic Association competition.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Our academic quiz bowl teams enjoyed a successful 2025-26 season, with our JV team being ranked number 2 in the Eastern Suffolk Division. The Southold varsity and JV quiz bowl teams will be attending the Academic Quiz Bowl National Academic Association competition in Birmingham, Alabama, departing on Friday the 12th and returning Monday. So Friday, June 12th, and returning Monday, June 15th. The students will fundraise to offset the cost of the trip and will miss 2 days of school. Can I get a resolution in support of that?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Now, this is the,
Ballot proposition.
this is not unlike the library, where we're not voting to give them this money. They're just asking to have a spot on our ballot at school budget voting time, where the public can say yes or no to them being taxed and raising this money. So it's not an extra $183,000 that we're asking for. We're simply providing the vehicle, pardon me, for the taxpayers to say yes or no to their budget. It's new this year for us. Whereas the superintendent of schools received a written request from the Southold Historical Museum to place a funding proposition for the museum in the amount of $183,155 on the ballot of the Southold Union Free School District's annual budget vote and election to be held on May 19th, 2026, and whereas upon receipt of such written request, the Board of Education is legally required to place the proposed funding proposition for the museum before the voters. Now, therefore, upon the request of the Southold Historical Museum, a proposition will be placed before the voters at the annual budget vote and election to be held on May 19th, 2026, as follows. Shall the Board of Education of the Southold Union Free School District be authorized to raise the sum of $183,155 $155 for payment of operational and maintenance expenses on behalf of the Southold Historical Museum for the fiscal year 2026-2027, and annually thereafter to levy the necessary tax.
Just discussion on this.
Sure.
The historical museum, is there like a district? I mean, do they mirror the school district? Like, so,
As far as voting,
yeah.
I think it's the same, I believe it's the same district, but we would have to check with the town to make sure.
I think it's more along the lines of a library.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
you know, the park district, you're in or they're out, but the library asks us to do this.
Right.
If I'm not.
Yeah.
not-
It is.
Yeah.
Any organization that is accredited by the Regents of the State of New York, which is the governing body for school districts, has the right to ask to be on our ballot and set one of these numbers. As far as exactly who they're districted for, I don't know. I would assume if they're going on our ballot, they're districted for the same exact people that we are. Otherwise, they're people, you know,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all.
how would you distinguish, like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
just
we
here to
could.
vote for the.
So my assumption would
Yeah.
be, I would have to check with the town, because the town really knows exactly where that districting is. You know, so I would have to check with them for sure, but my assumption is that their district is the same exact as our school district. You know,
Well, the attorneys wouldn't
Yeah.
said something.
Yeah, and it's a separate ballot issue, so
Yeah.
that you can vote no on it if you want to. It's the first time it's been done.
Yeah.
it's.
For
it's,
us.
Right.
Yeah, speaking with our attorneys, it's become very common on Long Island. Many of your, you have to have museum status. You can't be a society, you can't be an organization or a group, you have to have museum status. And when you apply for that, that is either granted or not by the regents in the state of New York, which makes you an academic institution. And then you have the right to be represented on a school budget ballot by law. It's not really, it's not a choice
Right.
for us, per se. It is, they are a wonderful organization that supports us, and our kids, our kids go there multiple times throughout their school career. So I do see them as a partner in education, but it's not a choice you're making. Like the attorneys told me that once they give us a written request and the numbers and everything else, and you know, then it's up to the taxpayers to decide whether they should get that money, those monies, and we don't have any say. We are obligated to put them on our ballot.
Could they be on the other budget votes for the other school districts in the town of Southold?
So this one
No.
is Southold Historical.
Yeah.
Matatuck
they have
has
their
their
own.
own,
Yes.
Greenport has
Yes.
their own.
Okay.
Just like the libraries, Greenport has their own library, they can't be on our budget vote, because our taxpayers don't support, you know, that organization. The Greenport taxpayers or the Matatuck taxpayers, they don't support this organization.
But I think it's the designation there of museum.
Yes.
That's the linchpin.
The
Right,
Historical
right.
Museum, yep. Libraries are accredited by, you know, the
Yep.
same organizations.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
everybody's going to move to become a museum.
Yes.
Can I get a motion on this?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. New business, tax exemptions.
So, there have been numerous tax exemptions that have been approved and put out. I shared the details, and I did not bring them today for this meeting. So what I'll do is I'll explain them now, and then if there's any questions, you can ask me, and I'll share more information. And then at the next, at the next meeting, you guys can ask for a presentation on it, you can ask for more detailed information, or if you know about it, we can, move forward on you guys deciding what you want to do with it. So there are exemptions that are in place now for firefighters' families,
Senior citizen.
there are senior citizen ones, and there is now new survivor from, if you are law enforcement and killed in the line of duty, there is up to a 50% exemption for survivors. Now, there is no rush on us doing any of this. This was just passed about 2 months ago. The information came out about a month ago, and you had to decide by March 1st. I got the letter with the details on it on March 6th. So it's not going to go into effect until, you can't put it into effect for this budget season. You can vote on it next budget season, and then it would go into effect the season after. That's the way it works. I don't know why it came out so late. I'm sure there's some political reason for that, but they did get it passed. And it is, I don't know how it would affect us. That's something that the tax assessor's office would have to share with us. In larger districts, they have reached out to get those details. It's one of the questions I had for you guys. Would you like me to reach out and find out, if they have information on how this would impact us as far as numbers of families? And then, like I said, I can bring you more information than what I sent you in the updates. I could even put together a slide presentation for our next meeting, if you like, and it will tell you some of the exemptions that are in place, like the senior citizen one. You guys aren't voting on it. It was put in place and it's there, and
Yeah, we had voted on some of them in the
Yeah.
past, but.
so two of the four are not, you don't get a say in, you get them. Some of they're in place. There is some variance in how much of an exemption you get. That's the part you can vote on. One of the ones that just came through, the adjustment to the senior citizen one, originally was supposed to be voted on, and then, it was passed into legislation, so you don't have to vote on it. People are getting it, whether you like it or not. The police survivor one is something that each individual district gets to decide whether they want to do it. There are a number of districts on Long Island that are doing it. They've either pushed it through, which would start it next year, and then there's a number of them that are in the same position as us. I've spoken to numerous superintendents where they're gathering all the information and they're going to decide will not go into effect to next year because it didn't make the March 1st deadline, and then they'll go from there. So I guess really what I need from you guys is, do you want me to put together a short presentation? I do have information on it. And then I can share it at an open board meeting, and you guys can ask me any additional questions. Do you want me to reach out to the tax assessor's office and find out if they know what type of impact it will have on us?
I think the first step should be the tax assessor's office, because I remember when we did this for I believe it was the volunteer firemen.
Right.
You could take a census of the number of volunteer firemen in town and who qualify. I don't know how you would even find out how many, surviving widows there are, but if we can get an idea from the tax assessor what the impact would be,
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Is there another exemption, I think, for like disabled, like with income limits? Is that one?
There is one for
Yes.
disabled, yeah.
Yeah, that's on the information I sent to you guys also. I can resend that in the update if you like. I don't have it in front of me right now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to quote the wrong numbers.
So,
I'll bring a slide to the next I'll put it in the update, and then I'll bring a slide to the
Veterans
next
disabled one, too.
presentation with all of them on there.
Okay.
And which ones we actually have say in and which ones we don't have say in, okay? Because there are four. Two of them we don't, two of them are set. And then two of them, the local groups have purview over,
Get
okay?
the info on the two that we have say in the matter.
Yep, I'll bring it for you, and I'll give it to you in the update, and I'll also put it in the presentation, so it's very clear to everybody in the community, all right?
great.
You bet.
Any other new business? Finance committee,
Nothing,
building committee,
nothing.
policy committee. Yes, we have something. We'll be recommending the following policies for adoption. Regulation 1500 for the use of buildings and grounds, policy 5500, student records, 55R regulations for student records regulations, 1120R school district records regulations, 8635 policy, information and data privacy, security breach and notification, 8635 regulations, information and data privacy, security breach and notification, 2245 ex officio student member of the board policy, and 5550 policy student privacy, and let's just make sure it doesn't run over. These were read at our last meeting, so this is a motion for adoption. Can I get a motion for adoption? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Second hearing of visitors. The board will entertain comments and questions about agenda items and school matters in general. Anything anybody would like to talk about?
Do you mind if I sit?
No, you can,
Actually,
You gotta go to the mic, otherwise it won't come out on the recording, Sandy. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So I'm just here tonight as a matter of information. Good evening, members of the school board, administrators, educators, and community members. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight about an issue that will directly affect the health, safety, and daily experience of our students, faculty, staff, and coaches. I am here to inform you that an industrial-scale 6,000 chicken hen-laying operation is being developed in very close proximity to our school at the end of Jasmine Lane off of the main road, which is directly right over here. This is not a small family-run farm. It is a large-scale facility that will house 6,000 or more birds, pasture-raised. With that scale come serious concerns that we cannot afford to overlook. First and foremost are the health implications. Industrial poultry operations produce significant amounts of waste, which releases ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, and fine particles and dander matter into the air. These pollutants are known to aggravate asthma, cause respiratory irritation, and negatively impact overall air quality. Considering how many of our students already deal with asthma or other respiratory conditions, placing this type of operation near a school raises real and immediate risks. Second, there is the issue of odor and quality of life. Anyone who has only driven past the duck farm in Aquabog knows the smell well and understands how strong and persistent the smell can be. This is not a minor inconvenience. It can disrupt outdoor activities, physical education, recess, sports, and even make it difficult for students to concentrate inside classrooms if ventilation systems draw in outside air. Third, we must consider environmental risks. Waste runoff from large-scale operations can contaminate local water supplies, including groundwater. If this occurs, it could affect not only the school, but also the surrounding community that our schools and families rely on. Additionally, they are concerned about increased traffic and safety. Industrial operations require frequent transport of feed, animals, waste, and daily operational needs. This means more large trucks traveling on roads near the school, increasing the risk to student pedestrians and school buses. This is not about opposing agriculture. Farming is an important part of our community and our economy. However, location and scale matter. An industrial facility of this size did not belong close to a school where children spend the majority of their day learning, playing, and spending time outdoors. I respectfully urge the school board to investigate the full scope and impact of this operation, collaborate with local and state officials to review zoning and environmental regulations, advocate for a comprehensive environmental and health impact assessment, and prioritize the well-being of students in all decisions and communications moving forward. Our responsibility, your responsibility, is to ensure that schools remain safe, healthy environments once this facility is operational. The consequences may be difficult, if not impossible, to reverse. We have an opportunity right now to ask the right questions, demand transparency, and take appropriate action before our students are the one who bear the cost. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your commitment to protecting the children of this community. So this industrial chicken operation is happening as we speak. Clearing is happening. It happens to be right next door to me, so yes, I am passionate about it, but I do believe, and my community believes, that it will impact the children. I have a letter here from somebody that lives next to the duck farm, and he is the manager of Sparkling Point, and he actually wrote a letter in opposition, and I won't read that part, but the part that will affect our children also. He says, I personally live in Jamesport, and my children attend Aquabog Elementary, which is in the proximity of the Crescent Duck Farm. I can attest firsthand that the smell that came from that facility quite often made outdoor activities at the school and nearby businesses and homes unbearable and forced many activities indoors. It was quite amazing how far away the odors reached, especially depending on the winds. And speaking of the winds do come from the north to the south, so they're going to start on the north and they're going to come straight for us. I've done extensive research the amount of waste, the amount of the odors. I just wanted you to be aware of what's happening. I'm not saying that any of us can stop it, but I think that it's worth looking into and seeing what kind of effects it will have on the school. You can't chase odors around. They're going to be there, and I feel like it is going to affect the kids on the school grounds.
Okay.
So that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
You're welcome. Board member commentary. Francesca, our ex officio member of the school board.
So fourth quarter starts next week, right after a break. It's crazy,
Where'd the
I
school
know.
year go?
I know. There's a lot of senior activities coming up too. I'm really excited to participate in. And spring sports just started, so we're hoping for some good weather. So yeah, everything's going good.
Are college picks rolling in, or?
Yeah. A lot of my fellow classmates know where they want to go, and I know where I'm going to. So.
All right. You know, you
Yes.
don't. Do you care to share?
Yeah, I'm going to Ave Maria University in Florida.
Great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Which sport are you going to play?
Basketball.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes.
Tom.
Well, congratulations on your
Thank
college
you.
pick. Good luck to all of the spring sports. Good luck to the robotics and quiz bowl teams. Sandy had a very passionate and I think very thorough discussion with us tonight. And, you know, I share your concerns about some of the health and safety issues, especially the respiratory. And, in a year where we're discussing a new playground, play is important part of education, the sports. But I think there's real consequences that we have time now to do investigation on how we should protect our school. I don't know even, not just outside, while they're outside, but like for our HVAC system, would we have to have any additional filtration to make sure that any of the staff, the students, the faculty who have respiratory issues, if there's any additional protections that, we'd have to invest in as this comes. I mean, again, there's a very real example, like you said, the Duncan Crest farm with the Aquabog school right there. So it's right up the road. So we can learn from those experiences. But I think the time to act for the benefit of the school community is now. And I would say these are, I think, real and tangible questions. While we have the time, it's something we should kind of invest some of the effort in. I don't know again how we would go about doing that, but I think it's important. Like, this is not a novel idea in a community, and I just think we should take a little time and effort to figure out what kind of things need to be done to protect the children, and also at what cost, for the district.
Okay. Dawn.
Congratulations to the robotics. They did an awesome job, and that's about it.
Congratulations to the cast of Wizard of Oz. I took the kids there. It was a great night, great show. Very proud of that group.
They did a great job.
Dawn.
Francesca, congratulations on basketball.
Thank you.
You guys put on quite a little show down there. So the boys team did well as well. The PTA had the Scholastic Book Fair, which was very exciting. My son wanted me to have $400 to go buy books. And they also just had Wingo, so it's really nice to see our younger grades being able to participate in some school activities as well as sports and everything else that's happening in the high school.
Great. I will give my standard rah-rah Southold comments on every facet of life here, from Francesca going to Ave Maria, to Sandy commenting about a local issue, to us going to the Worlds on the for the robotics team, to the fantastic theater productions we always put out for a 660 plus kid district. We have a very special place here, and we should all be very proud of it. Sandy, I don't know what we can do other than be educated and look into things. But I appreciate your passion in coming to us, because we're all parts of the community, and we're a facet of the community that represents the taxpayers all to run the school, but things impact us that aren't necessarily directly school-related, and we care about that. So it's always a pleasure to sit up here and represent the school and Southold. So other than that, I have nothing.
Thank you.
Motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries.